name a few teams and cities. You tell me how likely it is that Carmelo Anthony could end up there.
Okay.
And let's start right here with the New York Knicks. How likely is it that he could re-sign with his team?
I think there's at least a 50% chance that he comes back to New York. I mean, at the end of the day, you can talk about taking less money, but how many players do we know that actually do take less money? And for Carmelo to go somewhere else, Carmelo didn't really take less money. He didn't. Yeah. He ultimately got a sign and trade. It was $19-20 million. He got what he was probably going to get. Carmelo, if he has to go to Houston, Dwight Howard took less money. Carmelo, if he wants to go to Houston or if he wants to go to Chicago, would have to take that Dwight Howard type of deal. He'd have to take maybe a little less, given that the Bulls and the Rockets would want him to reduce his annual salary so they can build the roster with some other pieces. The Knicks, they can offer him that 5-year, $125 million deal, which could add $30 to $40 million on the end of that contract. Okay, so let's go to the Bulls. How about Chicago? How likely is it that Carmelo could go there? I would put that in the 35 to 40% range. I think Chicago, they have the most appealing roster right now. They've got a team that, when healthy, is able to win a championship. You've got Derrick Rose coming back, and I'm not like a lot of people who think Derrick's going to struggle when he comes back. I think he'll be fine. He's had a run of bad luck the last couple of years. I talked to one of his friends recently. He said it's all systems go for these workouts in July. He's going to be ready for the start of training camp and for the regular season. He'll be fine. Throw in guys like Taj Gibson if he can keep him around in that roster. Tom Thibodeau being the coach, Joakim Noah, no question. These guys are ready to win a championship next year, and the way they play defense, they certainly could do it with Carmelo scoring in the mix. What about Houston? And the Rockets could be appealing. I already have two superstars, Dwight Howard and James Harden. Yeah, that's more of the 10 to 15% range. If for no other reason than I think the Rockets are going to have a harder time, they think they are, getting rid of the contracts of Omer Asik and Jeremy Lin. I mean, they'd love to bring Carmelo in, and Daryl Morey, the GM down there, goes big game hunting, it seems like every offseason. But they've got two guys in Asik and Lin who make north of $15 million per year, whose salary cap number is only $8 million per year. So if you're going to trade one of these guys, you might have to do what Golden State did a couple of years ago with Andres Biedrins and Richard Jefferson and throw draft considerations in. And the other thing to remember in all this is that it's unlikely any team in the Western Conference is going to want to try to help Houston out in getting Carmelo Anthony into the mix. So he's going to have to trade these guys to the Eastern Conference, which Frank doesn't really care where Carmelo goes. Yeah, interesting. This has been a big rumor, the Miami Heat. And obviously there's a lot of dominoes that would have to fall here. But how likely do you think it is that Carmelo could go to South Beach? I find that unlikely as well. The Knicks aren't doing a sign and trade with the Heat. So Carmelo's going to have to take not only less years to play down there, but probably less money per year because he's signing up with three guys that are going to be making considerable money as well. So Carmelo would have to take a massive pay cut, one that ultimately could be worth, do the numbers in my head, $40 to $50 million over the lifetime of a deal. That's not a $1 million haircut there. That's a massive, massive pay cut. That as much as we like to speak in abstracts and say these guys make millions of dollars anyway, that's a whole lot of money to leave on the table. I find that almost 0%, I would say. So right now, you would think that the Knicks are the front runners at 50%-ish to retain Carmelo Anthony. Yeah. We asked you in our poll question, assuming Carmelo leaves, where would he play next? And it looks like Chicago wins 52% of the vote. And I wonder about to me, perhaps the Clippers. Could they ever pull something like this off? They'd need DeAndre Jordan to, well, be off the team. They need to do something about DeAndre Jordan, but potentially they could have a little movement. Well, they could, but it's hard. Yeah. Taking DeAndre Jordan, signing trades have become difficult in today's NBA, and the Knicks are probably not going to look to take DeAndre Jordan on in some kind of sign and trade. New York, above all else, they want to make sure they have almost no payroll next summer when all these free agents like Rajon Rondo and LaMarcus Aldridge are out there. Hopefully they'd have Carmelo under contract so they could pursue 2 or 3 guys and sell New York to them. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed this clip from our daily live show, SI Now. You can find a link to the complete episode in the description box below. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to Sports Illustrated's YouTube channel. It's not just SI Now, it's Girls in Bikinis, because we got your back. Remember, you can watch SI Now Monday through Friday live at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on SI.com. We hope to see you there with the Girls in Bikinis.